Hello YouTubers, welcome to my channel. Happy to have you here today with me. Why is there always so much to talk about? Why is there always so much to talk about? I sometimes don't understand it. It seems like, would these people give me a break? I mean, really? We gotta always have something, some drama, some conversation, something going on with these two. They just keep giving and giving and giving, and it's tiresome. And I just don't know how much longer these people can continue on this train, because it's going to crash. We all know it's going to crash. It's got a lot of momentum right now. We know some are saying that it's already crashed. I think it's going to be something much, much more major that's going to happen. It's going to be a very obvious train wreck. I think something, because the way they are going, it just seems to just... whew. And now we've got this article by Christopher Wilson saying pennies finally dropped for Prince Harry. Can he and Meghan go on? Asks Christopher Wilson. It has been the grimmest week of their lives together, and things only look like they're getting worse. But however baffled and hurt we may feel by Harry and Meghan's defection to America, the couple still needs our sympathy. The couple still needs our sympathy. Oh, really, Mr. Christopher? And why is that, might I ask? The long-awaited book they pinned their hopes on, the one which would explain their actions, thoughts, and feelings over the past couple of years, has been met with ridicule and, in some places, outright anger. Their dream charitable foundation, Sussex Royal, went into liquidation with the resignation of all its directors. Meghan's lawsuit against a newspaper seems to be floundering. She's lost the first round in the proceedings and has been forced to pay £67,000 in legal fees. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? You know what I could do with $67,000? Do you even have a clue what I could do with 60? I could turn that over 10 times over into a profit. The waste in this world. Her attempt to preserve the anonymity of the five friends secretly passing on selective information about her new life looks close to failure too. The couple's lifestyle continues to be ruinously expensive, with the whopping annual bill for personal protection coming out of Harry's pocket. Well, it is about time he started paying for his own protection. I ain't never met somebody who was rich that couldn't afford their own bills. Like, that don't even make sense, does it? Pay your own bills. You are a millionaire. I mean, you know what? It always seems like the rich people always get the freebies. Like, rich people always get stuff handed for free. They get people wanting to always just give them stuff all the time, because it's like the millionaires, they just want to help other millionaires stay millionaires rather than help people become millionaires. Something seems wrong with that. It really, really does. And Meghan's increased wealth since her marriage will now be subject to the scrutiny of the Internal Revenue Service. And let me tell you something, you do not want to have the IRS on your back tail. No, you do not. So she's got issues with that coming up. You know, she's made a lot more money now. She has a lot more opportunities. I mean, they're going to really be looking at her finances now. So she's going to have to be paying double, like the time that she spent when she was living in the UK and now back in the States. She'll now be asked to pay a small fortune in taxes. If Harry starts to earn money in the US from lectures and personal appearances, as is his plan, he'll have to pay US taxes. This is a real wake-up call for Harry, because he's getting ready to see what real adulthood is like. Like paying your taxes, paying your bills when you don't want to. And that's all I can think. The reason why they hadn't been paying their own security, they didn't want to. So it was like, Daddy, can you pay this? No, pay your own way. You got the money. Pay your own way. Then again, their earnings in kind, the loan of their Malibu house, the free flights on private jets. Right, another rich person, give them a free flight. Tyler Perry and Elton John here, take my jet, go where you gotta go, like for free. For real. Okay. Will also become subject to the draconian policies of the IRS. They are really getting ready to be hit with some serious issues with their bills, because when you wealthy like this, you pay a lot more in taxes, we know. To me, it just seems like they're getting a dose, especially Harry, a dose of the real world, for real, because they have got this expensive lifestyle. And I think it's one that they have really sought out. I mean, had they stayed in Canada, lived a simple life, live off the interest of your millions. You got all this going on now that you're living in California for what? They wanted to have a quiet life, and the contradictions of what they said and what they're actually doing, it just has people scratching their head like, I don't understand what they're going after. And to me, it seems like Meghan just kind of was like, yeah, I went and I married this prince, and now I want to come back to being an actress. Well, no, you cannot do that now. Not the way you did before, because you are world famous now. You have made a lot of people mad. You have done things that really shine badly upon your personality and who you are as a person by the choices you have made. By always going against the royal family, you've caused division now in the family of your husband. We already knew she didn't like her family in the States, and now her husband don't even like his family when they loved each other before. Like, we got this constant scenario. Miss Meghan, she's the one in the center of all this controversy. She's the common denominator, and there's just problems all the way around. But you know what? I think it could be a good thing for Harry. Maybe he can see what, how things really are, and now he can appreciate the life that he had. He can appreciate it, because I think sometimes you think the grass is greener on the other side, and you get to the other side and you can see the grass is burnt. It ain't green, it's burnt. It may have looked green across the fence, but when you get on the other side, you're like, oh no, this ain't green at all. This is some brown grass. Like, it's not what you thought it was. And so now maybe he can really appreciate all the things that he's going through. And I think that could be the one saving grace for Harry, if he was able to really come to terms what it's like for the average person in their life, and having to pay their bills and put up with things like paying your taxes, budgeting your money, dealing with a difficult wife. You got the public now looking at you all. Like, how are you going to conduct yourself? How are you going to behave now that you have this more commoner kind of a life now? Are you going to just kind of be humbled about it and show, oh, well, it's just, it's not like it was in the UK. No, it wasn't. It's quite different. And I can appreciate the working man and what he has to do, because I certainly don't like having to go to work every day to earn my money. I mean, I know I did love it when I was in the army, but that was something completely different. It was something that I loved. And now I must work to make my money to pay for my wife, because she seems to be wanting to do all kind of things that always cost me money. Now you can appreciate what Prince Charles is saying all the time, right? Because he was always the one they were calling for money. And now the buck's going to stop with Harry. Harry, you better be waking up and making your money, because you ain't, you know how she got rid of her first husband when she saw that he was not really looking like the high and mighty kind of guy he was when she first met him, because then she was earning her own money working on suits. And then suddenly her husband didn't seem like that fabulous guy anymore. He just seemed kind of average, because she was, really doing her thing, making her money. And now Harry, he's kind of come down a level. He's no longer that prince. That he no longer has that high stature. And he's going to look a little different to her now. So he better get his game up. I'm telling you, Harry, you better get your game up, because you're going to be out. Back here, Harry found that he's lost the power of royal. See, wasn't I just saying that? They just said, I didn't even read this. I just saw that. The power of royal. He doesn't have that anymore. So that whole shiny Harry being the royal, he don't look so shiny anymore to her. He just looks like the bloke down the street. That's not very appealing to someone like her. We know who her is, right? Okay. After lecturing the travel industry on how to adapt to the future, he set himself up as an ethical travel expert with his new organization, Travelist. In his first video since the controversial Finding Freedom was published on Wednesday, he made the opening speech in a virtual global summit on travel, urging the industry to build back better once the coronavirus pandemic has passed. But former Transport Minister Norman Baker gave Harry a scathing put down, saying, "I'm afraid his credibility on the subject is lacking over his jet setting, which undermines his case." Yeah, because you know why? He had to listen to his wife when she said, "Let's take a private jet." He had to go, "Yes, my love. Yes, my love." And now look, it ruined his reputation for the business he wanted to start. He couldn't look like he's somebody who's out trying to, be the voice of reasoning when it comes to carbon emissions and trying to preserve our environment and be one who's jet setting on private planes. He can't be that person now because why? He listened to his wife. Like I said, he should have shut her down. When is he going to just say, "Look, woman," or "Look, woman," or "Look," or "My love," or whatever he wants to say? Say no. Start to say no, because he's getting himself in a whole bunch of trouble. Always trying to give her what she wants. And when is he going to learn that women really don't like that? They want to be put in their place. They want to be like, "Okay, my husband said no." Well, at least sometimes they do, not all the time. But sometimes she want to see her man got some, right? Okay, the message is fine, but the messenger is wrong. Didn't I just say that? It's like a carnivore advocating vegetarianism. That's exactly right. One online critic accused the couple of being entitled, seemingly tone deaf to the world we live in today. That's a pretty accurate assessment. A photo a few days ago of the couple clambering aboard a gas-guzzling 6-liter Cadillac SUV drew a howl of disapproval from a wider circle of online royal fans. Yeah. It's like you're going to get in this big old gas-guzzling SUV and tell people we need to conserve and... why? They What is wrong with this couple? What is wrong with them? You don't think people gonna say something? They don't see you like they see you. They see the car you're getting in. We have to understand that Meghan found herself out of her depth when she joined the royal circle and struggled to come to terms with the protocols which surround that family, hence her longing to return to more familiar territory. Girl, you is a grown woman who's lived a lot of life. So you need to understand that no, these are protocols. You knew there were protocols when you married into their royal family. And now you just go act like a big old baby. "I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this. I want to go back to my other life that I had as an actress, working on an auditions and doing all those fun things, like seducing people to get what I want. Now it's no fun because I got like what I want. I don't want what I want anymore." I mean, like, that is what I hear in my head, and it's driving me crazy. But now it is his turn. Harry will find it difficult to stay afloat in Tinseltown culture so alien to his own. Now how's she gonna put up with him being in Tinseltown? It's crazy. No studio seems to have stepped forward with the offer of a leading lady role, her hope and dream. Yep, and they won't. They won't. And if they do, wait till they see the lash coming their way once they put her on the call sheet. If they had, we have heard about it. It would seem the all-powerful studio bosses look on the couple as red carpet fodder, not as a bankable item. You got that right. Just start throwing money away because that is what's going to happen. People are not supporting them because they are hypocrites. They have shown themselves to be disingenuous people. They are not honest. They have rubbed people the wrong way. All Meghan ever did as she tried to get to where she wanted to be in life was to just discard people. She's made a lot of people mad at her. So yeah, what the man is saying is true, and it really is just the reality. It's not me sitting here and saying this is what is going to happen. No, I am telling you guys what the picture looks like. You are actually seeing the picture of this whole situation as I speak to you right now. Okay, now we know that we do have a few of those little wackadoos, but we're not talking about the wackadoos, the not so majority. We're talking about the majority of people, how they see this situation right now. And this is just the reality and what it is. But when Harry walked away from royal duties, he broke the magic thread which binds royalty to people. It's taken a long time for the penny to drop, but Harry has discovered he is no king of the high seas, but a castaway stranded on a desert island. That's very true. Money worries, his dented global reputation, loss of friends, abandonment of all the things, places, and people he holds dear. These are a high price to pay for a single mistake. And we know what that single mistake was. What can we hear? What was it? What was the mistake, you guys? What was the mistake that Harry made that put him in this predicament that he is in right now? Come on, let me hear it. What was it? Yes, he married a divorcee actress woman named Meghan Markle. That's what he did. That was the one mistake that he made that essentially has ruined his life. But what this couple needs more than anything is our sympathy and understanding. Is that so, Mr. Walken? And you're not going to say why. And he's just going to leave it as that. Mr. Christopher Wilson is a royal biographer who has written about the Prince and Princess of Wales and the Duke and Duchess of Windsor. What this couple needs more than anything is our sympathy and understanding. Now, why won't you go on and explain why do they need our sympathy? Can someone please explain why? Why would you even write this article and not give us an explanation as to why? Do you think this couple deserves our sympathy and understanding because of something that they may have done? Did they apologize? Did they do something very spectacular that says, wow, we really should lighten up on them? We should maybe say, hey, you guys, we know you're trying to find your way. I mean, why should we understand? I think this is part of the learning process for them. That they have done some things. They have made very conscious choices on what they wanted to do. And these are simply the consequences of their choices. But they don't seem to reckon that they made mistakes. So why try to understand and have sympathy when there's nothing coming from them that says otherwise, that what we should say or think or feel about them? It just doesn't make sense to even say that, and I'm all for forgiveness. I'm all for, trying to help people in their time of struggle or their downfall. But at the end of the day, at some point, they have to be responsible and recognize their problem or their mistakes before anyone tries to understand or have sympathy for them. Because to me, it just sounds like, oh, they just went through a lot of bad things just happened to them. Feel sorry for them. No. No. Why not say, hey, you guys, you need to do better. And then we'll have some sympathy for you and feel sorry and maybe understanding. But until they start to do better, we should not try to say, hey, sorry, I feel sorry for you or understand. I'm not going to understand anything until I hear that they have shown that they have grown through these errors and mistakes that they have made. That would seem to be the logical reason to have sympathy and understanding. So until that happens, we still going to be looking at them with the side eye. With the side eye until they change up their behavior. That's what that needs to be. Or explain why we need to have sympathy. I mean, this article, he was doing really good there, this article, until he just ended the article with that last sentence. Like, okay, I don't know. But anyway, I just thought I would read that article. I thought it was interesting to kind of go back and see the things that they may be finding themselves in some predicaments now. And they need to try to maybe find some solutions. I don't know. It's what it is. Meghan told her friends that she gave up her life for this family. And said that she was ready to do whatever it takes to avoid Brexit, but frustrated, Prince Harry drove decision to quit book claims. Now, you know what? I'm not even going to talk about this, because if Harry drove the decision to leave the royal family, then why are you back in California? Where you from? If he drove the decision to leave, why didn't he stay in Canada or go to Africa? Go somewhere where he's been. He ain't never been in California. And so he's going to just go to a state that he ain't never been to and leave the royal family. Why? Just because? Like, you know what? I am sick of talking about it because they're getting on my nerves with this stupid nonsense because it is ridiculous. I'm just going to just keep looking with the side eye with that because I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Don't try to pin that off on your husband now because you made a mistake. Own up to your mistake and say, I'm sorry. And then just maybe people will have sympathy and feel sorry for you. But you try to get through life and without even saying sorry. So forget you. Forget you. I ain't listening. Meghan, we ain't listening. You got to own up to your mistakes and say you're sorry. And then just maybe people will feel sorry for you if they see you were sincere. Remember, you have to be sincere. Okay? All right. All right, you guys. Until next time. Peace and love. I love you. Bye-bye.